Hi everyone, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day. First of all, I want to say everything I talk about here comes from the public domain. This is just for entertainment. My thoughts and opinions on it all, and I urge you to do your own research. Well, seems that over the King's birthday celebration weekend, William conducted an interview with the Sunday Times. And in that interview, he pledged to end homelessness. In the interview, he didn't mention the fact of all the work that the former Prince of Wales, King Charles, had done in the Duchy of Cornwall to try to combat homelessness. But that being said, quite a bombshell interview. The timing was interesting because it kind of overshadowed the birthday celebrations, the Trooping of the Color, all the Garter Parade, all of that. So, William kind of stepped on his father's toes in more ways than one, putting this interview out at the time. But even more than that, just the concept of what he's talking about. If you're like me, you're going to cast a bit of a cynical eye on this kind of news. So let's see here now. Let's break this down. So the Prince of Wales, Prince William, vows to end homelessness by building social housing in the Duchy of Cornwall. That sounds incredible. That sounds amazing. Something Princess Diana would do. She had been taking William to homeless shelters and charities from the time he was a kid to introduce him to social problems that as a future monarch he was going to have to be aware of. So this interest of his has been part of his life since he was a child. But now here's the thing. There's a few big points to look at. First, let's break it down financially. William's not going to be spending his own money to build social housing in the Duchy of Cornwall. That money is going to come from his foundations, which are funded by wealthy donors. If it's a scheme for homeless people, immigrants, somewhere along the line, there's going to be some public money invested by the government. Government funds. You know where that comes from? That's the taxpayer in Britain, in Great Britain. He's not going to use his own money, but even so, you can say, well, this is fabulous, charitable of him to do this. Here you go. Even if it is socially funded, there's rents that have to be paid. And those rents are paid directly to the Duke of Cornwall, directly to the Prince of Wales and the Duchy of Cornwall. So he might be doing something that on the face of it looks like, a very altruistic thing to do and good for all the people. But, never forget that, he's going to profit from it. That's indeed the case. Then there's an even much bigger issue in my mind. It strikes me as a little ballsy on his part. I mean, we know all the G7 countries, we're all having trouble with homelessness. We're all having trouble with mass illegal migration and where to put all these people, and we don't have the funds or resources. And, it creates ire in a lot of people. It really does, because it's like, where's the social funding, the public funding for, citizens of this country, let alone all the immigrants you're bringing in? And, so there's that argument too, like who's actually going to end up living in these social housing developments that he's going to build. Which homeless are you talking about? That's an issue. But even the issue of homelessness and immigration, and it's all kind of tied in a knot now. And those are huge government issues that they combat every day, they face every day. The people question the government about these things every day. This is a government issue, and here's Prince William stepping up and saying, I'm just going to go over the head of the government, and they can't seem to do anything about this. I'm just going to take care of it myself. I'm going to end homelessness in Britain. That is a huge declaration of power. That is a huge nudge to the government. I mean, think of King Charles in his day of Prince of Wales. He got a lot of flack, a lot of controversy over the Black Spider memos. Those were the memos that he would write to government officials, MPs, House of Commons legislators, stating his views and trying to exert influence. And I mean, he knows it. He called it himself when he became king. He said there would be no more quote unquote meddling on his part. What William proposes to do, I would dare to say, is a little bit more than meddling. He's completely taking control of a piece of government responsibility. Homelessness, that's a government responsibility. And he's saying, you can't do it? I'll do it. I'll do it. And one thing this is going to do for him, I mean, the timing is incredible, especially if you've listened to my videos on King Charles III, life imitating art. It's pretty interesting, and I think this is William making a powerful move to scoop up some power that he didn't have before. Think of it. He owns housing estates, social housing in the Duchy of Cornwall. Those tenants are his tenants. How many homelessness? We don't know exactly how many units are to be built, how long the scheme's going to go on. It's all, this is just at the, talking about the developing stages of this, but I imagine it could be quite big. So as he brings more people into the Duchy of Cornwall, more people under the control of the rules and regulations of the, what I like to call a feudal state. That's right, man. Feudalism is still alive and well in Britain, and this is just Prince William's opportunity to expand the breadth of that feudalism and bring more of the British public directly under his control. I think this is a huge power move. I don't think it's good for the government. There's already people are talking like this is a controversial thing that he has said. It's a controversial thing that he plans to do. He's overstepping not only the monarch, his father, but he's overstepping his responsibility to government. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But I think in terms of life imitating art and everything I've said about King Charles III, and that William's going to make his move, and Charles is going to be out. William is going to be the one that ultimately takes control. I think before Charles would have wanted it to happen. So these are all things to look to the future and see how it all plays out. It's going to be very interesting. But for now, I think we are seeing William making his move. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking. And let's keep this conversation going. We'll talk to you next time. Have a great day, everybody.